Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of GameSpot's Mario Kart Tournament for the Ages, where 12 players are left after the eliminations of the first round to compete and possibly be eliminated themselves. Sean McInnes, my co-host, and I, Chris Waters, will be calling the matches for you here. And we've got our first match set up, but first, the rules. There will be 3 rounds with 4 competitors in each. Those 12 players will be whittled down to 8 by the next round, and those who progress, it will be determined solely based on points that they earn by finishing first, second, third, or fourth. Now, without further ado, we're jumping into the Mushroom Cup, and we're going to introduce our competitors as they start the race. Over here on the left, we have Maxwell McGee sporting his Wario hat and no doubt racing as what? No.
Whoa!
Not racing as Wario.
Whoa!
Making some different choices
my
here
mind.
in Double Dash. Maxwell, player 1, as Toad Baby Mario. Stanley Lynn is player 2 as Birdo Yoshi. Player 3, Gage as Luigi Waluigi. And player 4, Tom Complaino Magrino.
I don't know what's going on. I've never played this before.
Mario.
Now, as we backtrack in time a little bit to Mario Kart Double Dash, we get a nice new mechanic in this game, which is switching characters, as you can tell. Each of these carts has 2 characters on them, which the player can switch any old time they want.
By pressing the Z button, which, there you go, Tom Magrino. Now you're getting it. Got to give him a little bit of help. Of course, each character has its own their own attributes, but the driving attributes is determined by the car.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're driving the whatever ugliest sin buggy that Birdo and Yoshi are driving.
Let's assume they're all driving sugar scoots.
Okay. If only.
Yeah, if only.
Now, another new thing that we just caught a glimpse of with Yoshi throwing an egg at Maxwell is each character in Double Dash has their own unique power-up. And so you can get a character-specific power-up that will help you. They tend to be a little more powerful than the power-ups the sort of run-of-the-mill stuff. But they all have their sort of specific uses and abilities. And of course, that's determined by the character you currently have riding in the back when you pick up the power-up.
I have to say I'm a big fan of Gage's choice of characters, Luigi and Waluigi. Essentially, oh, that's Tom. Okay, you guys picked the wrong spots.
I'm disappointed in you.
I do like Tom's choice. It's basically a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing.
Wait, so Gage, are you Wario and Diddy Kong?
Correct.
Okay. And you came in 3rd and 4th for your transgression. Let that be a lesson to you. Switch places right now. You're confusing your commentators.
Wait, we have to mark it down. Hold on.
Honestly.
Don't hit a button yet. Don't hit a button yet.
So,
because the
Max first.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Yeah.
No, I got first.
Oh, you got first? Okay.
This game is basically stupid.
You're
basically stupid.
Stanley first?
Dan.
So we were right at the beginning.
Just, I got it.
I know, right?
Okay.
So Stanley 15.
Oh, yeah.
Max 9.
Okay.
Gage
Just say the
3,
place.
Magrino 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is all.
We're doing some math here, folks. No worries. All right, jumping into Peach Beach. It's race 2 of the Mushroom Cup. Stan taking home the early win. Let's see if you guys can pick it up a little bit.
All right.
In the next match. Magrino utterly failing.
We got the Jekyll and Hyde card peeling out at the beginning.
And Magrino demonstrating that so common human trait of despising things that we are bad at.
Tom Magrino probably should not, flaunt the fact that he has killed a man. That's one that you want to keep under your hat.
For those of you keeping track at home, that was a joyful long-running gag during all our first round competition. That's who dies here, not unlike the man that
Not unlike the man that Tom Magrino killed with his bare hands. In anger.
I know a little bit too much about this adventure.
Well, I mean, he did put it on YouTube, Chris. So,
Rough chuckles.
rough chuckles.
Rough chuckles here at Peach
chuckles.
Beach, and our race is pretty close. That blue shell is about to resort in the change of place. Yes. 1st to 3rd in a matter of seconds. They're all neck and neck. Talented racers all survived through the first round to make it to the Double Dash round. And we saw a spray of Luigi's fireballs.
The neon green snot.
Pretty much failing to actually hit his opponents.
Some more neon green snot. And doesn't work.
I'd like to point out here that Maxwell is playing as Baby Mario, universally reviled as the worst and most unacceptable character to choose. But is rocking the Choo Choo Train car,
Choo-choo
which
train!
is the raddest car you could choose. So, a bit divided. Puts him at neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am
Calls for
completely
balance down.
ambivalent towards Maxwell right now. All right.
Oh my god.
Maxwell with the first place finish. Stan in second.
This is not going well.
Stan in third.
Not going well.
Catch second.
The peanut gallery is feeding me misinformation.
This is making me hate
Magrino, did you finish last
I
or
did.
last?
Last.
Last? Okay.
Baby
And Gad, you got third again? So you got second.
Ooh.
This is junk.
Chugga chugga, Magrino.
Oh.
This doesn't check out. Where did I get it wrong? Who was first that round?
Max.
Max.
Max first, catch second.
I got there 3 points.
Thank you. It's going to tell us all at the end. It's Caliban, right? All right. I'm not going to write this down anymore. This is slowing it down. Let's go, Baby Park! Activate Baby Park for the next race.
Yeah, it doesn't give you the points. We'll have you know
Are you kidding me?
All right, here we are on Baby Park, the most simple and straightforward track, perhaps in the history of the Mario Kart franchise.
I got to agree with you there, Sean. This is an oval, plain and
It is
simple.
just
No
a
obstacles.
plain old oval.
2 item pickups and a finish line.
Yeah.
And 7 laps.
7 laps.
Yeah,
That is.
orthodox.
This one is going to be a real barn burner. And by that, I mean I don't know what that means.
It's a phrase, though, meant to convey drama, and that's what commentators do. Say
Convey
things
drama.
to convey drama.
All right.
Maxwell, you had the star, you had the mushroom, all you had to do was switch. Could you have switched to the mushroom and boosted and nailed that
I
player?
probably could. I should have switched to
You probably could have.
Now, Chris, what's the best strategy to use on Baby Park?
Go fast, get items, and don't hit other items.
Okay. Pretty sound logic.
Yeah. And now, Baby Park sort of brings into focus the peril of being at the front of the pack.
Yes, absolutely.
The more people you have behind you, the more red shells, blue shells, Yoshi eggs, fireballs, floating banana peels, etc., are coming your way. So it can be perilous to come into the last lap in first place unless you've got some padding in your lead. There is some strategic viability to hanging back a little bit, holding onto a powerful item, and unleashing it along the last couple turns.
For example, we just saw Tom Magrino just fumble his first place lead, which he had for a number of laps, as if to say, please, I don't want this lead anymore.
Please.
It took me
Take this
2
lead
races to
from
figure
me.
out how to play this game. I feel like I should not be penalized for that.
Tom complaining about his outcome, but a lot of these other competitors pretty silent. Not a lot of trash talking this round. We've got steely concentration as we head into dry desert, the final race,
Did you guys get that?
and we're gonna see who
We'll do it at the end.
comes out on top.
Hell, am I
So after this race, tell them to quit, just so we can get make sure.
All right, here we go. We're starting off with we are on dry desert, which Tom McShay has a great joke about it. And I'll leave it at that.
Now,
this
the
is
tornado gobbling up 2 of our competitors on the first lap, though one of them comes out of it with a star. Is he going to go right through? Knows enough to
Tom
avoid
Magrino got eaten by the
going
Sarlacc
down
pit.
into the Sarlacc pit.
We should probably mention it is not technically a Sarlacc pit.
And that term is probably trademarked by Lucas.
Yes, the fine folks at Lucas Studio Home Entertainment, George Co.
George Co.
Go
with that.
Yeah.
We see Chain Chomp, one of the Double Dash specific items, and even after it pulls you for a while, but then as Tom Magrino just learned, it keeps going.
It does.
And boy did he eat that chomp.
A lot of environmental hazards on this track. You've got tornadoes, you've got Sarlacc pits, you have just really crippling heat. It's just a very warm track.
Yeah.
It is a dry heat, we should
But
point out.
man, does it sear you.
It'll wear you out. You have to stay hydrated.
Especially if you're one of the more moisture-friendly characters,
come on, guys.
such as Yoshi and Birdo. Their semi-permeable skin really takes a hit
Exactly.
in these desert conditions.
Now, if you do have a nice set of mushrooms, you can get some pretty nice shortcuts on this track, as Maxwell just showed not but 2 seconds ago.
And now Magrino's got some new mushrooms. Can he take advantage of them and not go directly into a tornado?
That was a fake box!
He went into a fake.
Oh!
Blue shell
Maxwell
on the
with
last
blue
lap.
shell. Oh! Never a good time to be
and
hit by a
Yoshi
blue shell.
streaming ahead. Stan, is he going to go for those stray mushrooms? No, he's just going to try to stay. Sloppy turns mean that
Sloppy
Maxwell
turns.
is back ahead of him.
If he avoids that Sarlacc pit, which he did, unfortunately he could not avoid the red shell. Oh!
And they are neck and neck for first and second.
Oh!
No!
Oh! The rare front winder. The rare front winder by that blue shell. Foul.
I'm gonna join.
That
Maxwell
blue shell pass
literally.
him and then come back.
That blue shell passed him, did not know where to go, got some bum information from Google Maps, and pulled a Yui and came back and hit him.
You have reached
Which
your
is-
destination,
Which, when it's done by a red shell, we call it a front winder, as opposed to a side winder.
which hits you from the side.
Yeah, sidewinder is a red shell that hits you from the side. Front winder, well, you figure it out.
And now we have the results, but quick, a dramatic pause while we do math and actually figure them out.
Oh my god.
And done! We've got the math in, and the standings are as follows. Stanley Lin in first place with 48 points, Maxwell in second with 34, Gadge in third with 16, and Tom Magrino in fourth with 14. Now we're gonna wait till the end and see who's eliminated based on those points, but it's not looking good for Magrino and Gadge. They're at the lower end. They are in danger of elimination, especially now that we're moving on to the second round of round 2. Like that?
A little confusing in the verbiage, but we'll move past it.
You got it.
Don't worry.
We've got our 4 competitors lined up. They're gonna launch into the Flower Cup, and we are going to introduce them. So gentlemen, begin the race, and we'll introduce you to your fans out there in the world.
All right, we've got, in the top left, we've got Peter Brown. Bottom left, we've got Marco Djordjevic. Bottom right, Marco Martinez. This is going to get incredibly confusing. Top right, Giancarlo Bernini.
Well, fortunately, we can call Marco Martinez Bowser's, because he is running with Big Bowser.
Big
and
Bowser, Little Bowser, and he's got a spiked green shell.
And he's got the Big Bowser
Which
special
means
shell.
that he just killed a third Bowser and is now using his shell as a weapon. That's what you do to the young when you have Bowser battle.
That's the survival of the fittest Bowsers in the Bowser Kingdom.
Now, Mushroom Bridge. Guys, don't forget that you can go over the bridge. What's that called? Span of the bridge?
Sure.
Something?
Yeah,
That is,
architecture terms.
Yeah. You can drive on that. That thing has boosts.
It's
and
got
possibly
boosts.
a power up at the top.
It'll, shoot you right to the beginning right to the front, rather. Provided you're good enough to stay up there, which, I think each and every one of you are, and you should definitely attempt it at least once this race. Oh, we had the Dino team, aka Giancarlo, taking the shortcut from the wrong end, and ending up not so short.
Getting hit by a giant Bowser shell.
That Bowser shell stays around for a while, does it?
Is
Or did
anybody
he
going to
have
be brave enough to take the bridge span thing?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
No.
I don't think any of them
I would
are
like to
equal
challenge.
to the challenge.
Now,
Maybe you need to call them out
as a
specific.
commentator, I should not get involved, but I would like to challenge the manhood of all 4 contestants and say, hey, why don't you guys drive on the bridge span?
Please.
Please. All right, Peter. I'm liking Peter's chances.
They're coming up on it now.
Oh. So far.
It seems that these competitors value
And,
their...
oh! That's all right. Don't worry about it.
He went for it on the final lap. It's going to cost him.
Effort.
Win by default.
You know what? Peter may have lost that track, but he won all of our hearts
Peter.
by going for it. And you guys just hit retry, change course.
Little logistical issues because Double Dash is like, why would you want to play an entire cup together with 4 people without selecting each track individually? Good decision. So here we are, launching into this course, which I will tell you is called the thing that you just saw them select on the screen, aka Mario Circuit.
All right, Mario Circuit. Now this one's a pretty straightforward course. I mean, nothing really crazy about it except for a chain
Except
chomp.
for a giant chain chomp. That's a little wacky.
Certainly no Sarlacc pits to worry about.
Or are there?
Or are there? Bum, bum, bum. No, there are not. There's not.
Now, another thing that I don't know if we have yet to see an item steal yet, but that's totally a thing you can do in Double Dash. If you bump up against your competitor, either with a mushroom, in single player you're gonna have to do it with a mushroom. If you bump up against them, they have an item, you can steal their items from them. And that's just an awesome feeling. If you're playing with 2 players on the same cart, the backseat driver, if you will, can do that sort of little hip check move in order to pull the steal. It's a little trickier to pull off and not something we're going to be seeing today, as all the competitors are racing solo. And it looks like we've got first and third player 1 and 3 are neck and neck for first place.
Yes.
And players 2 and 4 are battling it out for 3rd and 4th. But this being the Flower Cup, anything can happen. A moderate amount of anything can happen.
I mean, this being the Flower Cup, a moderate number of things can happen.
Peter picking up the double item to start it off. He's got 2. Chucking him behind him, of course, because he is in first place.
Peter Brown, the fan favorite, currently in first place. All right, Peter Brown cemented his status as a fan favorite when he was the only one man enough to try driving over the bridge that last time.
And there's a star and some mushrooms down in that tunnel. Let's see if any of our competitors can take advantage of it. In this case, I'm talking about Birdo and the Bowser specifically, because our other 2 have long passed it and are closing in on the finish. With 2 bananas that'll pop over the ridge. Peter's gonna finish in first.
All right.
With Marco Georgievich.
Yeah, I'll applaud Peter.
Redeeming himself from his 4th place finish earlier. And speaking of 4th place, that's Giancarlo and the Dino Duo.
Dino Duo in their old jalopy there. I don't know what that car is called.
Now we're gonna move on to the next round. Change course, if you will, gentlemen. And it's off to race number 3. Not as easy to track who is doing well with the points, because Double Dash isn't helping us out like we did.
Nope.
But here we are out for a cruise on courtesy of who? Daisy.
Daisy Cruise Line.
What's the opinion of Daisy in the room?
So generally favorable sentiment for
Just
Daisy.
a bunch of terrible.
Now, this track does have a swimming pool, which we should point out because somebody just fell into it. That was Marco. Marco.
Way to own up to it, but yeah.
That was one of Marco's. One of
Peter forgetting that he needs to cut across the dining room with the moving tables. And remembering. Oh. No, still drive!
No.
That pit is not the end.
All you did was fall
just
into
another
steerage.
route. All you did was fall into steerage.
All you did was fall into steerage.
Great work, Sean.
Just try to avoid the people in steerage. Ooh. Nasty spill for Dino Duo.
The pool, again. Now in Double Dash, it's hard to overestimate the power of getting that double power-up. Because instead of just 1 power-up, guess what? You got 2. That makes you twice, possibly even more times that power-up. Depending on what you end up with.
Now, those moving tables.
And we had, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but Giancarlo just cashed in his single mushroom for 3, boosting into his opponent and stealing the triple mushroom. He's hoping to use that to boost into first place, and it's got him into second now.
I was wondering a second ago, those moving tables in the dining room, is it because the boat is shifting on the open seas, or is this a haunted cruise liner?
I think they leave it purposely open to your own interpretation.
All right, some theories from the Peanut Gallery that Daisy is a ghost. I'll buy
I have
it.
a lot of evidence to support that one.
I would buy it, though. Yeah.
Here we also have the odd situation of Marco Georgievich sitting in first with a blue shell.
With insurance policy.
He calls it his insurance policy. I say, Marco, don't throw it because it will hit you.
I tried throwing it, just see what happens.
You could throw it just.
Blue shell.
You could
Blue shell. Shoot
throw
it.
it as you're passing the finish line.
Do it.
I tried! But I won!
Somebody does not.
Marko Djordjevic, basically the anti-Peter at this point.
The victory of this race, the victor rather, getting booed for his refusal to blue shell himself at the finish line for science. Unlike in an earlier race when Peter did go over the bridge for science, and when I say over a bridge, I mean near and then into the pit. He tried.
Scientist Peter Brown! Scientist!
Effort. Keyword here. Effort.
And our competitors are going to have to bring their best efforts here in Waluigi Stadium if they hope to win this round and stay alive. Remember, they're stocking up points, and then the bottom 4 players will be eliminated with only 8 going on to the quarterfinal round in Mario Kart 64.
Oh, some groans from the audience about Mario Kart 64.
Certain members of our staff can't even hear the game title Mario Kart 64 without groaning. It's like a Pavlovian response, only instead of salivating, they're groaning. Which, honestly, I would take groaning over salivating any day.
Which is weird, because they had no problem with the terrible Mario Kart Wii.
Sean, as we're racing here in Waluigi Stadium, are there any factoids that are relevant about our competitors that you have yet to share?
Certainly I do. We will start with, let's see, who's racing right now?
Well, Marco just drilled Peter with a blue shell and is now coming up hard on his tail with a star and a red shell. So things are looking tough for the P1 in place 1. Hit by his second blue shell of the race. The Bowsers are pretty far back, but oh, they just overtook the dinosaurs with on the strength of some mushrooms. And now just really putting themselves in danger with a careless Bowser shell.
The Peanut Gallery is demanding that I read Marco's favorite griefing tactic. I'm gonna let you guys guess. All right. His favorite griefing tactic is rubbing my nipples or cursing in Serbian. Marco Martinez.
I know a lot of Serbian.
Marco Martinez knows a lot of Serbian. Only the words to accompany nipple rubbing.
Fortunately, we haven't seen either, I think, from this competitor, as he's been doing quite well.
Weirdly enough, that was stranger than the time that Tom McShay admitted to pooping in swimming pools.
You know, there's nothing like the crucible of competition to bring out people's true nature. Oh, Bowser speeding towards the finish, where he is doomed to end in second. Despite a hard-charging dinosaur team coming up in 4th.
Team Dino.
Now, with Waluigi Stadium under our belts, these competitors are done, and we are right now going to tally it, give you the standings, and move on to our 3rd and final bracket here in round 2 of our competition. 1 moment. And with the standings from that second heat, we have Marko Djordjevic roaring out into first place with 54 points. You guys got totally dominated. Peter Brown with 28, Marco Martinez with 24, and Giancarlo Bernini with 6. Not looking good for you, Giancarlo, but it all remains to shake out in this 3rd and final bracket. We've got 4 more competitors, the last 4 to compete before we narrow things down and make it into the quarterfinals. We're going to fire up the Star Cup and see how they do.
All right.
Sean, why don't you introduce our competitors for the folks?
I will. We've got in the upper left, Lark Anderson. Bottom left, Tom McShay. Bottom right, Van Wyn. And upper right, Curtis Sedd.
Way to go counterclockwise with that one, Sean.
Yeah,
possibly
that's just how
one
I
of
roll.
the worst ways you could introduce them. What's that, Tom McShay? What the hell is this course?
Sherbetland.
Why, it's Sherbetland, my friend.
Sherbetland, not Sherbertland, not Sorbetland.
The land of Sherbet.
Sherbet.
And penguins, so watch out for the penguins.
This is
They
one of
don't
my
have items.
favorite courses in the series because it's got little baby penguins.
And if you knock into one of those ice cubes, you get a little ice yourself. Yeah. And by cubes, I probably should have said birds or something. Mounds. Brownie ice cubes.
Brownie ice bowl.
Thanks to McShay and the Troopa team for demonstrating that to us, while he still maintains a strong grip on first. Though the strength of his grip is only dependent on the blue shell that just drilled him in the dome, and also the red shell in the hands of Curtis, who seems to be biding his time in second place. We've got Babies in a Train barking up his tail, and man, I think Lark chose those just to greet me, and if so...
Train babies. Train
does have a
babies.
train, so
Yeah.
you know, that car was.
Yeah. Mark Anderson just iced himself. Good work.
It's interesting to watch competitors try to figure out the way through this ice field. Despite the big arrows that we see on the sideline, it can get a little disorienting in that open area.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any of our players really have played a lot of Double Dash recently, except for Tom McShay, who totally practiced in shooting.
I think I misspoke. This is not the one with baby penguins.
No, that's on the 64.
That's on the 64, which
might
we're
have to
about
wait
to
till
see
next
next.
round.
Yeah. I wish this one had baby penguins in it.
Troopa is out in front, looking close, coming into the last few turns, navigating that ice field. Not the best line to take, but still getting those sparks on the power sliding. And Babies in a Train in an ice cube.
Babies on a train.
Really just thrown in the towel. On Sherbert Land.
As it turns out, babies, not the best train conductors. Not the best train conductors.
Who knew?
Yeah.
You know? You want to give them a shot.
Yeah.
You want to say, hey, I'm an equal opportunity
Right.
employer. Babies
Child
can do
labor.
anything.
Yeah.
Child labor is not
Yeah.
illegal in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah. In fact, it's encouraged.
Really regressive labor laws there.
Yeah. It's basically
Aggressive.
Victorian England.
And now we're back on one of them races what got other cars on it,
Yep.
aka Mushroom City.
Mushroom City, the capital of Nebraska.
Geography was always not your strong suit, wasn't it, Sean?
Ooh.
So this is a gridlock. Tom McShay was dangerously close to getting the Lakitu. Why do I say Lakitu? Because Tom McShay says that.
Yeah.
Lakitu.
I like to say
Lakitu.
I don't know.
Lakitu.
Lakitu.
It's never really pronounced out loud in the series.
In any case, there are numerous shortcuts through the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's see if our players end up taking any of them. One is on the far right side of that chasm just before you finish a lap. And another comes up in these gridlock of streets. There are some snaking diagonal ways through that I don't think we saw anyone take in the first. But now Lark and the baby train is going for it.
Baby train.
Shea with some great clean power sliding around these grids, evading the red shell that Lark's then after him, but not evading that obviously fake power-up.
Tasty candy.
It was just right out in the middle, sticking out like the sorest of sore thumbs. Ooh! We had a bounce there. Did we have a bounce? I didn't quite tell. It looked like we did. But then I saw there was a lot of distance between our two competitors. Van has Baby Bowser Jr. or is it Baby Bowser?
I call him Bow Bow.
Okay.
I call him Little Bow Bow.
Lil Bow Bow
Little Bow Bow.
and Toadette teaming up
Toadette.
to ride that bullet train to freedom, or third place as the case may be. Coming in on halfway through the second lap, and it's looking good for Tom McShay and Team Troopa out in front. Daisy just now getting off the ground. Curtis in a distant fourth. Let's see if he can wreak havoc on his competitors with a well-timed lightning bolt. And he just might have a chance.
Lark just drove into the abyss and purposely avoided that candy, which is an interesting strategy.
I think he wants to play.
A terrible last-timed abyss fall by Team Baby plunges him into fourth place, allowing Curtis to jump up into third as we pass the halfway mark in our final cup of competition here in round two.
The next track coming up, Yoshi's Circuit, which is perhaps the most egregious example of hubris in the history of Mario Kart. It is a track that Yoshi designed in his own likeness.
He built an entire island unto himself.
Yeah.
then put a cart track.
If you guys keep track of the track design,
Which you can see
it
in
traces
the
an
middle there.
outline around Yoshi himself, which is just terrifying when you really think about it.
As our competitors round the bulbous nose, there's a blue shell in the air, hitting Yoshi right in the eye and babies right on the dome.
All right.
Sean, I think you really just opened up a whole new commentating angle for us this entire match, talking about the geography of Yoshi's body.
Yep. Here we see Lark getting stuck in Yoshi's little man garden.
Oh, Lordy.
I don't know what you guys are thinking of, but that was the back of Yoshi's head, which actually he grooms extensively
It's his man garden.
to make sure that those rippling red frills stay sharp.
Yep.
Now we've got the babies holding onto that mushroom. This, folks, is going to be key for taking the shortcut up here, right across.
Lark, can you do it? All right.
Bypassing Yoshi's arms,
Although,
and now going for the chain chomp, which, not unlike the bullet in Mario Kart DS, can be a bit of a dicey maneuver, leaving you on a trajectory that you maybe is suboptimal, let's say. Lark is knocking on the door for first place with Curtis, the Daisy Luigi team, right behind. Looking for some Star Bop action, but not getting it. A tough turn for Van and team We Are Totally on a Bullet with Wheels, who remain in fourth place.
Tom McShay still holding a pretty good lead up in first. Let's see if he can hold on to this. Nope, turns out he can't.
He is smote.
Turns out,
And lo, did we see the hubris of the babies and their train trying to take that shortcut without any sort of speed-enhancing item.
which is, turns it from a shortcut to a long cut.
That's a good term.
Yep.
You used just there.
Long cut.
Notoriously used by people who can't think of a better word to say than long cut.
Oh, ouch.
A lot of interplay. Curtis, ringed by adorable hearts, making some strong progress into second place, and hoping that the love that the Mushroom Kingdom apparently has for him will help. Although Lark with some nifty drifting, coming around the corner strong with a mushroom. Is it going to be enough to catch McShay? I don't think so, folks. But it will be enough to get him second place, leaving Curtis in third, and Van in fourth after 3 races.
Unless something changes.
Did I speak too soon?
No.
Kind of, but not really.
All right.
Predictions hold
Van.
true, and we head into the 4th round, the last race of round 2 competition. Here it will be decided who goes on to the quarterfinals and who stands in the background here in shame and ignominy. Although, I gotta say,
Silence.
the shame and ignominy background crowd has pretty much vacated, and everyone here left is a competitor. Oh yes, it's off to the jungle, DK Mountain.
DK Mountain, which adds some interesting verticality to the typical
By
form.
verticality, do you
And
mean
by
a
that I
giant
mean they drive slightly uphill and then go to the top of Grumble Volcano. I don't think that's Grumble Volcano.
Keep an eye out here for parallels to DK Summit, folks, which we just raced. You are definitely on a volcano. Definitely got the cannon, definitely got some sweeping S-curves coming up here. Let's see how our competitors handle those. My guess is at least 2 of them fall in.
Yep, that seems like a sound guess. Now they gotta watch out for the boulder along these switchbacks here. The best strategy that I've found is to not get hit by the boulder. And
That's 1.
occasionally drive into the abyss.
And almost 2.
Ooh, all right, not bad.
Get Toadette.
Uh-oh.
And Lark just got
What excellent
Lark?
chain chomp timing by Van,
Wow.
knowing that the bridge is a narrow choke point and that you really can't avoid the chain chomping you, no matter how hard you try. Wow, that's a lot of chain chomp. And into the cannon. Does chain chomp go in cannons?
Nope.
Answer no, even though that cannon appears to be built and rifled specifically to shoot chain chomps. It's about that size.
All right, Tom McShay, let's see if you, yep, you do get hit by the blue shell. Good work.
Of course I do. The blue shell.
Let's see if Tom McShay drives himself into the abyss. I feel good about his chances.
Stop doing so good, Tom!
Yeah, Tom, come on.
We've got some rooting against Tom McShay, and I have to tell you folks, if our competitors have any chance of surviving in the final round competition, which is for Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, they're going to want Tom McShay out of the picture because that man is a robot that is designed and built, purpose-built to play Super Mario Kart very well.
on wheels!
He doesn't know emotions either.
No.
Much like a real robot.
A real robot. I thought I was a robot.
Someday, Tom. Maybe someday you'll be a real robot.
Bicentennial man!
Tom McShay just shouting Bicentennial Man. Tom McShay stuck on a corner and about to be red. Nope. And, ooh.
Red shell.
Oh, there you
and
go,
now our
Tom.
competitors have a great opportunity to gain on one of our favorites.
He's not my favorite.
Wow. Just a terrible power slide by the babies.
Oh!
Oh, and misfortune
Tom McShay
continues
with
to
the
befall
red shells.
Curtis as he gets hit by a
And
boulder
Tom
and
McShay.
then force-fed his own mushroom, which rockets him off the edge.
Tom
Those
McShay-
power-ups, once they hit the ground,
Yeah.
are such a variable.
Such a variable.
Tom McShay coming in first, Van in second, and Lark crossing in third, with Curtis bringing up the rear in fourth.
Bringing up the rear!
Now, folks, as you know, it is time for some quick math before we announce who's going on to our next round, the quarterfinal round of our Mario Kart Tournament of the Ages. One moment, please. And now for the results. We've got a bit of excitement here, folks, but before we get to that, here are the overall results of that round. Tom McShay coming in with a flawless victory, 60 points. Coming in second,
Not bad.
we had Van with 20 points, Curtis with 16, and that was enough to secure those guys' passage to the next round, or was it? Curtis and Gadge have ended up tied at 16 points, and we're gonna need to have a tiebreaker right now. Tom Magrino, Giancarlo Veronini, and Lark Anderson have been eliminated, but right now it's our two competitors facing off. Sean, explain the tiebreaker situation.
Well, the tiebreaker situation is simple. 2 men enter Rainbow Road, 1 man leaves Rainbow Road. And also this studio.
I think you guys understand. Let's fire this up and get to racing. Press the A button.
There we go.
Twice.
The big green
Good
one.
job. Here we go.
All right.
On the top, we've got Gadge as player 1, racing as Mario and Wario.
Mario and Wario, another Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde
And
situation.
burning out on the start line is Curtis as Luigi and Daisy.
All right, good choices, Curtis. Kind of weird, but I like your choices.
They were the same choices you had in the previous competition.
Now,
It was enough to get him here.
I don't know
enough to
if,
get him on to our quarterfinal round.
have I described the makeup of this track yet, Chris? First of all, it's called a road.
Okay. Yes, I mean that's very obvious.
Right, it's a
to anyone
road.
watching.
I mean, specifically, it's a rainbow road.
Okay.
It's a road.
Do you have more to tell us
It's a
about
rainbow
this?
road, and
Too
it
fast?
is a place where you go when you die.
Oh, I pity the fools who are watching this but have not seen that bizarre YouTube video of a guy totally making a music video to Rainbow Road and
It's
singing.
got Mario, Princess Peach, and the Toad, and by that I mean Mario, Daisy, and Wario.
Also Luigi.
You think I care about Luigi?
Clearly not.
He's the most forgettable character in the history of the
Well,
series.
Curtis is out to a strong lead here, first place, and Gadge is going to have a lot of catching up to do. Let's hope he can get some items to help him out. Mushrooms, oh so dangerous on the Rainbow Road.
Oh, hubris.
But even without the mushroom boost, he's
Hubris.
slid off the edge. He's having some trouble in that big purple, what I can only presume is a Cadillac.
No, it isn't Cadillac.
Yeah,
It's certainly not a sugar scoop, if that's what you're wondering.
I'm pretty clear on what a sugar scoop is.
All right, but I'm still not.
Okay.
Well, the thing about this track is that you'll know when you get there, because you're here right now.
But what if you are there, as Curtis and Gadge are there, do you have any tips for our competitors?
We'll miss you again, Uncle. We'll miss you again. What?
I think
Nobody recognizes that line from the YouTube song? Come on!
I think we all do. Or do we?
Or do we? I don't know.
Those of you thinking the competition might be over halfway through the second lap with Gadge really just not doing a great job of staying on the course, you might be right, you might be wrong. Stay tuned, it's going to be over pretty soon.
It's probably a good thing we didn't do my suggested 99 laps on Rainbow Road.
That
Did
is
you even do
a
that?
grueling test of man's endurance.
Oh, Blue Shell! Even on a 2-person race, you can still get Blue Shelled.
True enough, though I gotta say, Gadge is really not putting in his best performance today.
That is really just...
You know, this is a tiebreaker
bad.
situation. You can either bring the focus to stay on the track for like a good amount of time, or you cannot.
The Peanut Gallery is telling us that we should have done Baby Park instead of Rainbow Road, to which I offer, why would you ever do Baby Park instead of Rainbow Road?
I would counter with, do you guys have sharp blazers and red buttons?
Yeah.
No.
Red
then
CBS
thank
Sports
you.
buttons. All right, then that means you have no authority, unlike us.
Curtis doing a little falling off of his own, but every time I look at this little mini map, they're just like really far apart from each other.
Yeah.
And, at this point, you just gotta hope that Gadge doesn't get lapped.
Yeah. Gadge, I hope you don't get lapped.
Which I think he's got a good chance of not getting lapped at this point, coming as he is down the final spiral, although hitting everything in his way on the way. Yes, folks, he's guaranteed he won't be lapped, and maybe he's gonna take a celebratory fall off the edge. Yeah, I don't. That's
now in the time that it's going to take for Curtis to finish his third lap.
Way to celebrate, Gadge, going out with style. I like it.
I would encourage everybody to go to youtube.com, search for Rainbow Road, and then watch the entirety of that video. And then come back and watch the rest of this one. Because you will enjoy it.
Curtis putting his character into some grueling calisthenics. Which, you know, at this altitude really just doesn't seem like a safe maneuver. And there we have it. Your tiebreaker has concluded. Curtis will be going on to our quarterfinal round. Gadge will not be. Congratulations to all our competitors here in the Mario Kart Tournament of the Ages. Coming up next, it's the quarterfinals as we travel further into the past to the Nintendo 64 era.